Hey Browns fans, Nathan Zegura here at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus for another edition of Training Camp Insider presented by Snapple. Browns back at work today in front of the fans, and it was a day where the Browns moved into what they would call a normal week. So today replicated a Wednesday on a normal practice week. Tomorrow would be Thursday, Friday, and then you get on to the game Saturday against the Kansas City Chiefs. And so in today's practice, you saw some team periods, some good on good, as head coach Kevin Stefanski calls it, but you also saw the offense and defense split up and work against the scout team, getting ready not only for the Kansas City Chiefs, but for the season opener against the Cincinnati Bengals. Some of the highlights out here today, well, a lot of them from the offensive side of the ball. Deshaun Watson looked very sharp throwing the ball. He had a couple of connections with Donovan Peoples-Jones as well as with Amari Cooper. And then you talk about the running game. Nick Chubb always looks sensational, but the Browns are really looking for that third back. And newly acquired Jordan Wilkins, he was getting some work with the first team today, and I thought he looked fantastic. Comes in clearly in great condition, working on getting into football condition, but when you saw him against the Eagles, ran through contact, ran with power and speed. He can pass protect, and he can catch it. This is a guy, folks, with over 200 carries in his NFL career, over 1,000 yards, averaging 5 yards a carry for his career. So maybe the Browns have found that veteran, that third running back that could be what Dearness Johnson has been to this team for so long. So that's something to keep an eye on Saturday in Kansas City. Now, when you talk about the highlight of the day, well, it's no surprise. Who's been making the highlights every single week, every single game? Well, it's been Austin Watkins, and today was no exception. Austin Watkins went up and plucked the ball right off the helmet of a defender as DTR hit Watkins, which is something we've gotten very used to seeing this preseason. All right. When you talk about undrafted free agents making an impact, we've heard a lot about Mahmoud Diabate, the young linebacker, but what about safety Ronnie Hickman? Ronnie Hickman, known as Rocket Hickman, has been a force of nature. The ball just finding him. 2 interceptions against Washington Commanders. Then he goes out in Philly in front of his family, who all came down because he grew up nearby. He had his 3rd interception of the preseason. And earlier today, I caught up with Ronnie Hickman in our exclusive one-on-one interview presented by Cross Country Mortgage. Now, you may not know this, the nickname for you, Rocket Hickman. How did we get there? Because quite frankly, you've been a rocket on the field.
So it started off when I was really young, like a small baby. My pops used to see me try to take off and run like a rocket. He said it one time, and it just stuck ever since.
And it's a good name for a football player.
Yeah, it actually worked out perfect. I don't know if it was premeditated, but it ended up working out.
All right, you mentioned your family. You grew up about an hour plus away from Philly. Last week, a lot of people I know came to the game for you. Unfortunately, a little bit of a brief appearance in the game, but a productive one. For the 2nd straight week, you come up with an interception. That's now 3 in the preseason. Let's talk about the family being there. What was it like having everybody come down and getting to see you?
Oh, it was amazing. They came deeper than I expected. Just, being able to, for them to see me on a big stage, they know that this has always been my dream. So it's just huge to put on for them and for them to, come out, be able to watch.
So you got the interception. Since we did last time you and I talked, let's talk about what happened on that play. When did you know you were going to get that ball?
As a half safety, you pray for those tips and overthrows, and we were in cover 2. I was playing my half and kind of caught eyes with the quarterback again, and the ball looked like it was a little bit too high, and I didn't see the ball too much, but I went to go dive, and luckily I came up with the ball.
It was an incredible catch.
Yeah, I tried to get up under it as much as I could. I know in the league they got it from every which angle, so I tried to get up under there.
All right, great story there. And this is one of the things that makes it so interesting, because in 1 week's time, next Tuesday, the Browns will cut this roster from 90 to 53. And guys like Ronnie Hickman, guys like Mahmoud Diabate, guys like Austin Watkins, who are those kind of feel-good stories, they will make decisions very difficult for Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, and Paul DePodesta as this team tries to get the roster from 90 to 53. And if you keep Hickman and you keep 5 safeties, can you keep 6 corners? These are the calculations. These are the decisions. These are the discussions that are happening right now as this team has 1 week to figure out the 53 men they want to take into the season opener September the 10th against the Cincinnati Bengals, and really for the whole season. So here's what the rest of the week looks like. The Browns will have practice again tomorrow. That'll be a typical Thursday practice for the in-season schedule. And then on Thursday, that will replicate what they call Fast Friday, where you get some good work, some good situational work, go through your final walkthrough on what would be Saturday. That'll be this week on Friday because, of course, the game is on Saturday at Kansas City. That'll be the final preseason tune-up for your Cleveland Browns against the defending Super Bowl champion. So a lot to look for for, a lot to watch, and a lot at stake for many, many players on this Browns roster is now the final work to get ready for those starters, those who know they're on the team, and the final opportunity for those trying to make this roster. We'll be back with Training Camp Insider again tomorrow right here for you on the Cleveland Browns app as well as the Browns YouTube channel, youtube.com/Browns. Thanks again for joining us for another edition of Training Camp Insider presented by Snapple.